Hey, it's Sean with Elmo Entertainment. Joining me is Andre from Lacuna Coil.
How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm good.
Hey, welcome to Peoria.
Thanks a lot.
It's good to have you guys back in town.
Yeah.
You guys got a new album out, Shallow Life, and we just released the deluxe edition CD of that. We'll talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, the album came out like a year ago,
Right.
The original first edition, and it's been doing pretty well. I mean, it's been a different kind of album for us. It's been bringing the band to some new territories. Like we've been working a lot the radios,
Right.
with the singles that we never really has done so much in the past, especially here in the States. And we've been entering the charts in a lot of different countries, in Europe, in Japan, in the States, in Canada, Australia. So it's been pretty successful. Especially here in the States, we've been number 16 on the Billboard in the first week, which we never reached. We never cracked the top 20, so it was the first time. And also for our label, was the highest entrance they ever had in Billboard. So it's been a pretty successful album, but we're still working some more radio stations, some more territories where we haven't covered, and we're already collecting some new material even for the next album, even if it's a very beginning of the process kind of phase. We still have to tour this album and to do some more promotion, but it's been a year, so times are changing and the music business is changing so fast, so we experience a lot of new stuff with Shallow Life because it's a new world, kind of, for us.
Right. Number 16 on the U.S. Billboard. Obviously, it's great to know people are listening, but I mean, really, besides that, what does it mean to you? I mean, is it something important as a band, and you go, yeah, okay?
It's important in a way of the history of the band. You know?
Right.
It's not because if you sell a lot in the first week and then you're not gonna sell the rest of the year. In the end of the day, you've been number 16 above. You know, you're not gonna sell CDs. You're not gonna make money out of it. You're not gonna survive as a band. You know?
Yeah.
So it's important to have it because it's always a good statement, especially coming from Italy. It's something very rare, if not unique. That's a rock band from Italy actually cracked the top 20 in America. It's a big thing, you know, also back home. So it's very important for that, but it needs to be followed by much more, you know, much more promotion, much more interest from the media, from all kind of from the people. So it's the beginning of the process. It's a good start, you know? And it will always be there. We will always remember this, and in our bio will always be there, you know, as a strong statement. But that's not enough for a band.
Right. You got to keep moving, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, you've been together as a band for over 10 years, 13, 14 years.
Yeah, 12, 13 years.
Been recording with Christina for some time. How does that work for you guys? I mean, you know, sometimes having two vocalists, maybe...
It is a learning process because even when we started back in 96, 97, it was quite a unique thing, you know, to have two vocalists. So we decided to add her in the lineup because we wanted to have something special, something more magic to our music, you know. And having a female and a male vocalist was something very rare back then.
Oh yeah.
So it was completely different. And on one hand, it's been tougher to convince people about this because it's a different setup, and not everybody was ready for the comeback of a strong woman in rock and metal. So it opened some doors and some different kind of promotions, some different interests for different medias as well. But on the other hand, it's been also more tough to convince people that she's not just a nice girl, but she's also a girl that can rock, and it's part of the scene, it's part of the family. You know? So it's been good and bad, as everything, you know. But mostly we've learned working together, album after album. Like our first album was also our first time ever recording in a studio with a producer. So it's not that we were coming from other experience. We were really young and totally unexperienced. So we have to learn also the way to develop how to use the vocals in a good balance, in the best way possible. And I think we are reaching a very good balance just recently with the last 2 or 3 albums. We have really learned this process.
Now you had Don Gilmour help produce the latest album, Shallow Life. How was that working with him? And
I mean,
that added a new element to what you're doing, I'm sure.
Yeah, before him, we always worked with the same producer, which was a European guy, Valdemar. And so he was like part of the band because we've been doing 4 albums with him. And we know each other since the very beginning of the band. So he's been teaching us everything we know about going in a studio or songwriting or So he was really much more like a friend that really knows really well all the bad and good and bad of the band, of the members, of the musicians. So it was like a very different to change producer and go to somebody that you don't really know, and so we were a little afraid in the beginning. But then we met up with Don in Milan, in our hometown. He came down for like a weekend with his wife and stayed. We went out to dinner together, traveling around the city, and then we've been going to the practice room and let him listen to the demos we had of the songs, and we clicked immediately with him. It was a really good relationship. Even if we were a bit afraid because he was such a big name. It sold like millions and millions of records with bands like Linkin Park or Pearl Jam or Duran Duran. Like he worked with a lot of different kind of bands.
You got some stuff going on for the fans right now with the VIP packages on your headline shows. Still got a few of those left, right?
Yeah. We still have the. It's pretty good because it's good price. If you consider that they include the ticket to the show, the T-shirt that you might gonna buy anyway, and you got the VIP meeting and the pass and the special poster. So I think it's worth for the amount of money. It's worth for sure.
So you guys are picking up Rocklahoma,
yeah.
Which when I think Rocklahoma, I think 80s bands. I noticed this year they have like Cinderella is going to be there, but then Godsmack's headlining. Lacuna Coil is going to be there. Wow, I mean,
it is more similar, I think, to a European festival, because in Europe we have these big festivals which are unique events, not like Ozzfest or Mayhem, which they travel all across the country. They're just single events, but they more or less have similar lineups.
Right.
And usually it's always a good mix of old and new.
Right.
And we played last year, for example, we played Wacken in Germany, and there was us and Evan and L together playing. So it was like two very different kind of band, and we headlined one stage and they headlined the other stage, so, and it was a lot of kids and people going crazy, so it's not really a problem of mixing up the more old school generation with the new kids, so it can be fun. I think everybody can learn from each other.
Fans are interacting with you. Well, what do you like seeing from the stage, and I'm sure the singing along and all that.
Yeah, I think that the best thing is when they sing the words of the song, especially we're not like a super happy band, so it's not that you expect people to do like circle beats or even if it happened, but it's not exactly what you would expect from Lacuna Coil. So it's great to see people that is singing along the song or dancing or moving. Sometimes you see also a couple hugging, on the more slow songs, or the more darker, intimate songs. So it's pretty cool. I think it's like it's a good satisfaction to hear the people singing your words, and the words you've been working on, and they share the same concept of the lyrics. That's the best thing, and it's also a big recognition that the song means something for them, that in their life, because they actually learned the words.
Right. You guys are going to finish this tour up, over the summer, and then heading down to South America for the first time. And what can you tell me about that? I'm sure you're excited.
Yeah, it's our first time. We only been to Mexico before a couple of times, so we start from Mexico, but then we go deep south. We go Colombia, Ecuador, Venezuela, Chile, Argentina, and Brazil.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be like one show in every country, and it's our first time. We receive mails from many years from people from all this country that are waiting for us and they want to see the show.
Right.
So I think it's gonna be pretty packed and pretty good.
Yeah.
And everybody say that it's crazy attitude from the people because they have the Latin thing. I mean, we're from a Latin country anyway, so we're probably more used to, like Argentina is a lot of Italian people moved back in the past, just like Brazil. So we know the culture a little bit, but I think it's going to be surprisingly hot.
So when you finish up South America, you come back here or heading back home? Or?
No, we're flying from Brazil back to Italy.
Okay.
And we have a festival in the UK in July. It's called Sonisphere. It's with Rammstein and a lot of big bands like Papa Roach, Anthrax, Placebo. It's all crossing over different genre. And then we're probably gonna have a little more festival here and there during the summer, but we wanna start songwriting for the album as well. So we start collecting ideas. We already have like 2 or 3 ideas. So we're gonna probably July and August. It's gonna be a little bit of holiday, a little bit of collecting ideas, and play like a few shows here and there. And
Great, Andrea. Thanks. The new CD, Shallow Life, deluxe edition's available now. Check you guys out on tour. Get a VIP package, and anything else you want to say to the fans? Or?
Yeah, we're hoping to come back for one more tour before the end of the cycle. Otherwise, we're going to be back as soon as possible with a new album. So thank you very much to everybody that supported our music.